We are back. I'm your host, Barry Waxler, here with the always lovely and talented Andrea Kay, the always incredible Urban Miaris, and we have our first guest of the day with us today. We have Mr. Amnon Zakay from RAZ Hair Solutions, Hair Loss Solutions. Welcome, Raz.
Thank you very much.
Amnon, I keep doing that.
That's okay. Thank you for inviting me.
So great. So tell us a little bit about your company. What is it that you do?
We're helping women and men who suffer from thinning hair and hair loss. I've been doing it for the last 33 years already. Started overseas, and during the last 13 years, I'm doing it here in San Diego. So helping basically women that due to female pattern baldness, suffering from thinning hair and hair loss, we basically helping them to restore their hair, to add and enhance their hair by adding more human hair that matches their own hair in a way that will enable them to do all their daily activities. Once the hair addition is sewn to their own hair, it's going to be blended and mixed with their own hair in a very natural and secured way, so they can wash it, brush it, swim with it, blow dry, color, and do all the daily activities freely.
Interesting. You know, when I stop and think about hair loss, I typically think about men, but you focus on women. Okay? Tell me what's going on there.
And according to the American Hair Loss Association, there are more than 30 million women over the U.S. who are suffering from thinning hair. It's very common among women, I would say over 40, 50 years old, due to genes basically and family history. Unlike the male pattern baldness, they will not get bald, but they will get thin. And all they looking for is just to have a little bit more hair into their own hair. And obviously they don't want to, in many cases from my experience, women don't like to use any chemicals or messy glues on the scalp. And here I am bringing my unique method, which doesn't require any usage of glue and adhesive. It's a very clean, natural method. We basically sewing by using a special thread that matches the woman's own hair. We're sewing the additional hair into her own hair close to the scalp in a very fine way. No damage to the natural hair. I am doing it, as I said, for 33 years, and I have clients in San Diego, women that going with me for the last 13 years, and it's perfectly...
Well, it's interesting because the comments that you made before the show are that it's an ongoing process. So, or it's, you're creating a relationship and you don't do the job and then separate yourself from the client. Is that correct?
Correct. That's right. Once a woman joins us with the method, she likes the concept, the idea, then I become her hairdresser and hair salon. So once she has the additional hair and it's blended with her own hair, it looks natural, feels great, then I will bring her and provide her all the ongoing services as haircut, coloring, and basically she needs kind of a maintenance. So in average, she needs to come once in every 6 to 8 weeks for a very affordable and very intense professional service. But it is affordable, and since I'm the owner, the founder, the expert, and it's a small family crew, all of us are certified, licensed in California, will really provide a very close personal service and will fit and tailor the right solution for every individual.
Well, I love this because, they're being look at Keith Abloh last night he's a well-known psychologist. That's a great-looking bald dude. But there's not any women. So you can be bald and be a man and be hot, okay? But you can't be a woman and be bald or have very thin hair and still be considered hot in today's society. And so this is a real problem that women have out there, and to think that we have a solution like you have here in San Diego that's affordable for women is just so wonderful, and that's one reason why I wanted to have you on the show. What is the difference, though, between between the procedure that you're doing and maybe a traditional weave or even extensions, because there's a variety of different procedures. If you can talk a little bit about why yours is preferable over some of those others.
So as you said, and you are completely right, hair for women is kind of a feminine symbol. It's way more important than hair or baldness on men.
Mm-hmm.
The fact that we can create in an artistic approach the right custom hair edition with the right amount of hair, choosing the right texture, right color or colors combination. We may mix 2 or 3 colors with low or highlights. The ability that we have, that I have with my artistic approach, enables me to create simply the right thing, because most women don't want to have bunch amount of hair, because they want to avoid the wig look.
Yeah,
they want to look natural, they want to feel natural, and most people tend to believe that when they have such an issue and they have lost 30 or 40% of their hair, and it's very common, by the way, and as we're aging it gets even worse and worse, they tend to believe that the only solutions that can help them are the wigs, which many of us really don't want to have.
No, I don't want to look like Dolly Parton. Not that there's anything wrong with Dolly Parton, but I mean, unless you're a country music star,
I'm gonna
you don't want to look like Dolly Parton.
You shouldn't open that door there.
Well,
okay.
True, and the other thing is the hair extension, that women tend to believe that that's the magic solution that will help them, although it's wrong, completely wrong, because the hair extension, and I used to train stylists to do hair extension, so I'm very familiar with it. Hair extension is designed to help women with normal amount of hair. They just want to have a little bit of volume, sometimes a little bit longer hair, but they will not solve any thinning issues, because the thinning, the typical female pattern baldness will create a very thin spot on top of the head, front and crown area, while the entire head is a little bit thicker than that. So the extension can help only to bring some volume to the sides, the back, and sometimes a little bit of length, but definitely will not solve any thinning issues on top, because once you apply any kind of extension to the top spot, they are going to show, and that's not right.
That's not a good look.
No. You're listening to Close Up on San Diego Business here on KCBQ, streaming live at AM1170theanswer.com. Give us a tweet at CloseUpSD. Email me at barry@closeupsandiego.com, or find our page on Facebook. We want to hear from you. I'm your host, Barry Waxler, here with Andrea Kay, Urban Miaris, and our guest is Mr. Amnon Zakay from RAZ Hair Loss Solutions. So now, we've been talking a lot about women and hair loss solutions. You also work with men. You're not exclusive to women, correct?
No, we help men as well. Obviously, for men, there are some incidences that we can really implement the same method for men as well. Mainly those who just in the beginning of the hair loss process. Once you completely gets bald on top, then we need to use a different methods that we obviously do offer. But we definitely helping men. I am focused on women because I believe that we are providing something really unique and with a huge advantage for women.
Mm-hmm. Well, what's interesting is when you think about all of the, and I assume these are your competitors, think all of the hair loss solutions you see on television, I cannot remember ever seeing any one of them approach women. It's all men in those commercials. Mm-hmm. Okay.
And I think that recently the bigger awareness to the women hair loss, and I think that more and more of the companies targeting women. The thing is that they are simply trying to implement the same method that was originally designed for men, and are trying to fit them the same methods for women. Mm-hmm. I am focused on women because, as I said, this is something unique. I don't know any women, and from my experience, women hate to shave, for instance, any of their own current hair on top in order to attach something else instead. They don't want to lose any of the current hair. They want to use their own hair as much as they can.
Sure.
But they want more hair. The other thing, as I said, they hate to use the messy glues and adhesive. Either it's the soft bonding or the hard bonding. I mean, whatever you do, it's still chemicals, still requires some chemicals that creating kind of a messy feeling on top of the head. Women don't like it in general, and the method that I'm using is completely clear and natural. The scalp is completely ventilated. Right. When you wash your hair, you feel like there is nothing there. You feel the water, the shampoo running straight into your own scalp. So you keep your scalp cleaning, breathing, and it's great. I mean, women simply love it. And by the way, we do offer all the other common methods as soft bonding, hard bonding, and others. The only one that we do not offer is the surgical method for hair implantation, which is basically designed for men due to the typical pattern of baldness. Because on men, they tend to get completely bald on top, while the entire head of hair is pretty thick. So they can use the back part as the donor area and move certain amount of follicles from the back to the top. Again, they are limited, and with a surgical procedure, you basically you're not going to get more hair. What they're doing basically, they're relocating the current hair, some of it, certain number of follicles from one spot to the other, and it's limited. They can transfer 2, 3, 4, 5,000, and that's it. Otherwise, it's going to create a problem with the donor area.
And it doesn't necessarily look natural or look good either. I mean, I think it depends on who's doing it, but...
Not always, but for women, it's not going to work, and I think that most surgeons will be honest by telling women that coming to them that this is not the ideal solution for women.
Yeah. How and why did you get into this business?
33 years ago, I started losing a little bit of my hair over the crown area, which I wasn't even aware to because I couldn't see my crown area, obviously. I was very successful. I was 26 years old. And my older brother, who has done something back then about it, referred me to somebody in Tel Aviv. Somebody who was the #1 magician for hair loss solutions in Israel.
A lot of technology happening over in Israel, by the way.
Yeah.
Thank you.
So, interesting. Well, we're starting to run short on time. Tell our listeners how they find out more about RAZ.
Our website is razhair.com. It's RAZHAIR, razhair.com. And my phone number is 858-404-0044. And this is my direct phone number. This is another thing that separates me from different companies. My company and my philosophy is not to create really a very intense, messy, massive company. I'm the owner, as I said, the founder, and I'm the expert. We all licensed in California, and we are trying to approach every individual as a new creator. That's the way I approach it, and with kind of artistic approach, as I do sculpting and painting. That's the way I approach every new client. It's for me kind of a creation, and once a woman is sitting in front of me, I'll be focused only on bringing her to the best appearance, best natural appearance, I would say.
Well, I appreciate you being with us today. I look forward to getting together with you and carrying your storyline forward in future weeks.
And thank you very much for inviting me. I appreciate it.
Great.